Hello, all you wonderful people with hair. This is Mr. Key here. I have a lot of hair right now. No haircut recently. It is Monday, April 27th, 2020. This is the update for Monday, giving you everything you need in the world of ELA and how to survive. Survive, Mr. Key, for the next few weeks. So, this is going to guide you in a certain direction. Obviously, this is now mandatory to watch the video if you are in this video strictly for the bonus word of the day. It does not exist in this video. You will have to find that elsewhere. I don't know where it would be. I don't know where it would be because I haven't done it yet. I'm actually recording this on Sunday. So, in this PowerPoint, I break down all the things you need. And I discuss the things you need. I'm actually recording my introduction after I recorded the PowerPoint, so some things may be repetitive, right? Sorry, I repeat myself. I don't like to, but I do. And in this PowerPoint, you have 2 Google Forms in which you have to complete, 1 YouTube video you want to watch, and 1 reading log discussion. And I go over exactly what I want for the reading log discussion, which is why I want you to watch this PowerPoint and my video as I go on. Plus, you get to hear my voice and see my face. Sometimes that's cool, sometimes that's awful. I get it. I do want you all to know I miss you very much and hope to talk to you and see you all again very soon. Please, obviously, send me any messages of any questions you have, and I will try to get back to you as soon as I can and answer those questions as long as they're in learning time. All right, enjoy the PowerPoint, enjoy the presentation, and make sure you are completing all of the work with it. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2020. If you are watching this video, you are following exactly what I want you to do. I want you to watch the video of me teaching the assignment as well as follow along in your own PowerPoint at certain times. There are going to be parts of this PowerPoint that may be a little different than what you have in front of you on Google Classroom or on Schoology in this PowerPoint. The main thing that you have to do is follow along and click on any links that I have. There's one link on this PowerPoint that's going to give you background knowledge. There's another link on this PowerPoint that are actually 2 others that are Google Forms. I thought Google Forms were going to be easier for you to complete rather than going on to Google Classroom and completing Google Docs. So we're going to be focused in, it is Module 8, Week 2, and as you know, in the beginning of each week, we go and we read our story completely before we start close reading it throughout the week. So today, our goal will be to read our story completely at one point while answering inference questions about this story. So let's begin with grammar. All right, so this is 3.6.1, and we're going to talk about easily confused verbs. So there are some verbs, some verb pairs, that are easily confused, especially as you use them in a sentence. All right, so if we're thinking this, we have to think that there are some verb meanings that are related to each other, but they're not the same. For instance, sit and set. Sit means to lower yourself onto a seat, kind of like I'm doing right now. I'm sitting on my chair. And then set means to place an item onto something. For instance, I set my laptop on the table so that I can record this video. All right. It is important to know the exact meaning of these verbs so that you will not use them incorrectly. So let's think about the ones that are easily confused. We have a word like teach and learn. Teach means to give instruction, where learn means to receive instruction. For instance, I am teaching this lesson, you are learning from the lesson. I'm giving you the instruction, you are receiving the instruction. All right. We also have our word lie and lay. All right. Lie means to recline on. Lay means to put an item on. Right, so there's a tad difference there. We have our word rise, which means to get up, stand up. See, I'm really good at singing, so there's songs that stick out to me as I go on. So rise means to get up or to stand up. All right, and raise means to lift something up. You raise me up. That's my beautiful Josh Groban singing voice. I know, voice of an angel, Mr. Key. So raise means to lift something up, where rise means to get up or to stand up. We also have our word can, which means able to do something, and we have our word may, meaning allowed to do something. All right? Can I go to the bathroom? May I go to the bathroom? There's a big difference. All right? Big difference. Am I allowed to go to the bathroom? Or am I able to go to the bathroom? There tend to be a difference there. So here's our example. I can rope a steer. Mom says I may go to the rodeo on Saturday, not the radio. That would be weird to go to a radio. All right. Mr. Key has his own example on this PowerPoint alone. This will not be on your PowerPoint. So my example of Joseph learned how to lasso, I want to identify if the usage of the verb in the sentence, in this case, learned, is correct. So I have to think, what definition fits the sentence? How does the sentence sound if I say it aloud? The definition of the verb of learned is to receive instruction from someone. In this case, is the verb used correctly? Yes, the verb is used correctly because Joseph could receive instruction about how to use a lasso. The sentence also sounds correct when you read it aloud. So make sure we're asking those questions as we go on. The questions of how does it sound if I say it aloud? And what definition best fits the sentence? Let's look at some examples. All right. I'm going to go over numbers 1 and 2 with you as a class. You are going to have to complete 3, 4, 5, and 6, and I will tell you when you have to pause this video to do so. All right. So number 1, roping cattle is hard work, and not everyone blank do it. So let's think. What definition am I using? Well, I'm using can or may. The definition of can, able to do. Definition of may, allowed to do. All right? Roping cattle is hard work, and not everyone can do it. Does that sound right? Let's go with the other one. Roping cattle is hard work, and not everyone may do it. It's a tough one. So, which sentence would sound better? Which definition works the best? And if you've gone over those questions, you realize that can is your best answer. So good job for those people who were paying attention. Let's look at number 2. The Cowboys blank at dawn and ate their breakfast. All right, would that be the Cowboys rose at dawn and ate their breakfast? Or the Cowboys raised at dawn and ate their breakfast? Well, that just doesn't sound right. So in this case, it would be rose. The Cowboys rose at dawn and ate their breakfast. Good job. So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause this video, and I want you to complete numbers 3, 4, 5, and 6. You can do it on loosely, if you could do it in your head, but we're going to review over the answers shortly. So complete 3, 4, 5, and 6 after you pause the video. Video better be paused. Watching you. Alright, so let's review over our answers. After you've unpaused the video, we said that roping cattle is hard work and not everyone can do it. And we said the Cowboys rose at dawn and ate their breakfast. Let's look at number 3. Number 3 says the cattle did not generally blank down at the end of the day. Would that be lie or lay? Yeah, this one would be lie, L-I-E. Good job. Number 4, rising his hand, the rancher greeted the Cowboys. Raising his hand, the rancher greeted the Cowboys. Yeah, that would be raising. Good work. Number 5, the rancher blanked his plate down and went to check on the horses. Would that be sit his place down or set? Yeah, that would be set. Good work. Number 6. If young men and women did not blank how to fend for themselves, they could not have survived the Wild West. Alright, so if young men and women did not teach how to fend for themselves, they could not have survived the Wild West. That doesn't really make sense in the sentence. If young men and women did not learn how to fend for themselves, they could not have survived the Wild West. Yet learn sounds the best there. Good job. Alright, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to complete your grammar page 3.6.1. Alright, by doing this, you're going to click the link to a Google form, and the Google form is going to pop up on your computer. It may end up popping up in a new tab. Google wants to make sure this is me. It is. Alright, sometimes it does this. You have to log in through Google. Alright, so you'd write your name, Master Key, which homeroom are you in? You'd click Mr. Key, Mrs. Woodbridge, or Miss Polly. If you're in my homeroom, you click Mr. Key. Wyatt, I'm seeing you clicking all 3 of them for some reason. Alright, I'm watching you, why. Alright, Mr. Key is Mr. Key's homeroom. Mrs. Woodbridge is Mrs. Woodbridge's homeroom. If you're watching the video, you're most likely in one of those 2 homerooms, unless Miss Polly shared this, which is easily possible. Alright, so let's look at our work. It says easily confused verbs. It says underline the correct verb in each sentence below. In this case, I'm going to give you a multiple choice. Alright, so you're going to go and you're going to have multiple choice. And guess what? When you're done, the answers will be available to you. Alright, so check it out. It makes it easier for you. You don't have to type anything in. All you do is select between the 2. Natalie is blank. How to use a lasso. Is it teaching or learning? Alright, so what I want you to do right now is I want you to pause the video and complete the Google form. Good work, ladies and gentlemen. So as I said in my introduction today, this is going to be kind of like a preschool TV show, like a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse or a Blue's Clues, where I'm going to say something, I'm going to ask you to say something out loud. We're all going to look like we're crazy because we're in front of a computer saying things out loud, but hey, it's practice and it's learning. Why do you think Mickey Mouse Clubhouse worked so well? Alright, so let's do it. Our first word is reluctantly. Say it. Reluctantly. If you do something reluctantly, you do it without wanting to. I reluctantly carried my little brother home since he was so tired. It means you're doing something even though you don't really want to do it. For instance, I reluctantly recorded a YouTube video to teach my lessons when I'd rather be teaching it in front of my students. Alright, you knew that one was coming. Our next word is reserve. Say it. Reserve is a quiet, sometimes shy way of behaving. She behaves with reserve when she meets new people. It looks like I know I have some of my students who act shy and quiet and really reserved in the classroom. Some would say that Mr. Key is very reserved. I mean, hey, I am sometimes. Jeez, I know, I get it. I'm an extrovert at times. I get it. Our next word, number 3, is casual. Say it. Casual. As some of you slang people would say, cash. Mr. Key is so cash today. All right, casual. Casual clothing is not dressy and is meant for everyday use. I've been very casual sitting at home teaching these lessons. So, as soon as I get home from school, I am going to change into my casual clothes. The shirt and tie I wear in the classroom is not casual. And it's funny because when students see me out in public, they see me in casual clothes and they get really confused. All right. Number 4, the next word is nudged. Say it. If you nudge something, you gave it a little push. So my mom nudged me to be quiet during the performance. All right. So as I said, these 4 words are going to appear in our news story. All right. They don't get tested on, but they do appear in our news story. And we're going to talk about our news story shortly. All right. I also want to talk about our vocabulary skill. I wanted to do this a little bit early so that we can practice this potentially on Wednesday. So last week and the week before, we talked about homographs, which is a word that has more than one meaning or pronunciation. For example, did you know how to row the boat to the shore? And please set up all the chairs in a straight row. Words that are spelled the same that have different meanings. All right, row, row, row your boat is different than setting something up in a straight row. All right, a homophone is a word that's pronounced the same as another word, but has different meaning or spelling. The sole of her shoe completely ripped off during the hike. That would be the bottom of their shoe. That would be very painful, especially in a hike. She didn't know a soul at her new school. That's a way of saying she didn't know anybody in her new school. So, two different spellings, two different definitions, two different meanings. All right, but they are pronounced the same, soul and soul. I've got soul, but I'm not a soldier. I'm sorry, I'm singing a lot today. I get it. Please, Mr. Key. Our story this week is called From Scratch, and it's a realistic fiction story. So one thing we have to remember is that authors don't always come out and just tell you things as you're reading. You have to make inferences based on evidence in the text. I know you're all excited about making inferences again. An inference is an educated guess based on what you already know and based on your experiences and clues from what you're reading. So basically, you take your schema, which is my fancy word of the day, schema, all right, and you take, which is your background knowledge, by the way. Schema is background knowledge. I just love saying that word, schema, all right. You take the schema, which is your background knowledge, your experiences, what you know, and clues from what you're reading to figure out what's going on. All right, and we're going to practice this today. This is kind of also like a fill in the blank for the readers. All right, so you want to make sure that you're a good reader. And good readers always pay attention to clues from the author and combine them with your prior knowledge, schema, to get a more complete understanding of the characters and events. We're going to practice this today with our story from scratch. But before we can do that, we want to build some background for this story. So, this is your My Book 2, page 181. And I want you to go and complete the prepared to read section after we build some background. So first, I want you to read the genre study. You can pause this video and read the genre study on realistic fiction. When you're done the genre study on realistic fiction, I want you to play it again so that we can get some background on the Festival of Light. So read that section on genre study and come back before we set a purpose. Alright, so we're going to set a purpose for reading. So a lot of times when we set a purpose for reading, we have to take what we know about something. I knew nothing about this religious festival, the Festival of Lights. So I wanted to do some background knowledge searching on this. Alright, so I gave you here a brief story of what it is. It is a 5-day religious festival celebrated by Hindus, Buddhists, Jains, and Sikhs. It is the most important holiday in India and in many other nations. The festival celebrates the victory of light over darkness and good over evil. People decorate with oil lamps, candles, electric lights, and rangoli designs. Beautiful patterns made from colored powders and flower petals. Family and friends celebrate with prayers, fireworks, gifts, special food, including, oh, you know I'm not going to be able to pronounce this word, Gulabid Jamun. Good job, Mr. Key. Way to not pronounce that correctly. And other sweets. I also have a video here that shows you more background knowledge of this event. So as soon as it plays,
When your child struggles,
Oh
you
no!
don't always know what to do.
Ads.
Each
Love
day has its
ads.
own set of
Ads are
challenges,
fun.
frustr-
Skip.
At any time of year, a visitor to India can be overwhelmed by its beauty and color. But a visitor in late fall is especially fortunate. The temperature will have cooled down, the monsoons will have not yet begun, and Diwali, the festival of lights, is at hand. Diwali is to many Indians what Christmas is to Christians. In essence, it commemorates the victory of the forces of light over the forces of darkness. To experience it fully, get up before dawn and head for the flower markets. Here, flower vendors work feverishly to create garlands of fragrant jasmine that Indians will use to adorn their homes. By dawn, they'll be sold out. Next, head for one of the temples, but go early. Later on in the day, they'll be packed. On your way over, you may see a curious sight. People hunched in front of their doorways, pouring colored sand on the ground. The sand takes the shape of a lotus blossom, a symbol of welcome. And today, millions of symbols of welcome will grace the nation's doorways. Indeed, Diwali is all about sharing. If you're staying in a private home, don't be surprised if the neighbors show up with plates of delicious holiday treats.
Happy Diwali.
Happy Diwali, Abhirami.
Thank you.
It's also customary for families to go to the temples together on this day. They often dress in fine new outfits, purchased especially for Diwali. And if their outfits inspire you, head for a sari shop. Shops are open on Diwali, and Indian silks are justifiably famous for their beauty. They're just one of the ways India spruces up and gets into the holiday spirit.
So this is an occasion for all of us to rejoice and be with the family and enjoy all the good things in life. So we buy good clothes and make good food.
And everywhere there are lights. If you head to major commercial districts throughout India, you'll find colorful displays comparable to Christmas lights in Western cities. Some cities also put on spectacular public displays of fireworks, like this one in Delhi. But no matter where you are, there are smaller, more intimate fireworks displays. A long day of celebrations is coming to an end, and it's going out with a bang.
Alright, so I definitely want to touch on that for you so you build some background into our story before you go. So this is our story from scratch. It is the first time you are reading this realistic fiction story. As you read, I want you to go to this Google form, and this is page 181 of your My Book 2, so make sure you're on there. Here's a Google form on making inferences. This form is going to be due to me as well. Alright, so notice my lights, my fireworks here, kind of fireworks from scratch, which kind of gives us that story and that big background here. So once again, you want to add your name, you want to add your homeroom teacher, and starting from page 182, you're going to make inferences. So here's my model from page 182 that I posted on here. As I first read the page, I note that Priya asks her mom about back home in India. Later, Priya tries to hide her tears from her mother. Using these clues, I will make an inference that Priya recently moved to a new country and is missing her home in India. Alright, so what your job will be is to complete an inference and make an inference about page 186 after you read the whole story, obviously, or after you read that page. And page 189, there are two inferences I want you to make. Page 186 says to make an inference about why Priya does not tell her mother the whole truth about making friends or having lunch at school. And I want you to answer, what does Priya's mother tell Priya about Lindsay? And why do you think Priya's mother tells Priya this, which is the news about Lindsay? All right. So I want you to fill that information in to make inferences. Right now, I want you to open to page 181, read your story from scratch, and complete this Google form. Please pause this video while you are completing that activity. Alright, now that you've finished reading from scratch, I want you to get ready for your reading log, which is a new story that you should be reading 20 minutes a day of. So on Schoology, we will have a reading log for Monday and for Wednesday. This reading log must be a story that you are reading and can discuss. In Monday's log, I want you to ask questions about what is going on. Questions help you form answers later as you read. Remember, good readers always ask questions. Alright, so reading logs must be in complete sentences with proper grammar use. Here is my example for you. Example, the story I am reading is Maniac McGee. I can't believe a town would separate like this. Why can't Jeffrey see that he is different? I am interested in seeing what happens next. So I had a few questions in here based on my story, Maniac McGee. That is your job today on Schoology in your reading log. Remember, you have 3 assignments. You have Google Form for Grammar 3.6.1. You have a Google Form for making inferences. And you have a reading log on Schoology. All of this can be found on Schoology and or Google Classroom, depending on where you want to go. Trying to make this a little bit easier for you in reading. I hope this helped everybody going through. And I hope you have a really great Monday.